Well, isn't he a cutie pie? Hey guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. I'm excited to have you here, and this is another episode of Let's Chat with Nat. I just made that up. Honestly guys, I'm making this video because I wish it was on the internet when I was looking for it. It would have saved me a lot of time when I was scouring YouTube and Google and spending hours on weeks searching for this information. So it doesn't exist, at least I couldn't find it, so I'm creating it. I want to talk to you guys about my journey with weight gain on Humira and other biologic medications. So I'm going to tell you my story, I'm going to tell you what happened, and then I'm going to talk about some resources for you guys, some stuff you can present to your doctor if this is happening to you, and some things that have helped me, but I'm still in the process of figuring that out. So let's get started. I was on Humira for about 7 to 8 months. I was in the hospital with a perforated bowel, had no other really options. It was surgery or biologic medications, so I chose biologic medications. My doctor gave me the option of Humira versus Remicade, and I chose Humira because I have a really bad time with IVs. I'm super anxious and it's just really hard for me. So I chose Humira. I started Humira right after leaving the hospital. The nurse came, she gave me the 4 injections, 2 in one side, 2 in the other, and that was fine. I was scared, I was pretty terrified, but it ended up being okay. My husband was there, my mom was there, so I knew it was gonna be okay going forward. I chose to have the needle, the pre-filled syringe, versus the pen because of reading online. I found that that hurts less. So I was on Humira once every 2 weeks. My husband would inject me in my thighs. I just chose my thighs because it scared me less than my stomach. It was all right. It was super painful. I crashed for a week after every Humira injection. I sort of saw an improvement in my symptoms, but it wasn't astronomical, and I was still dealing with a lot of new symptoms. Just getting back to the injections itself, a couple tips if you're just starting Humira. I took the Humira out of the fridge at least an hour before the shot so it wasn't cold. I would ice my thigh wherever I was about to inject, or my husband was about to inject, and I would ice it right up until the moment he was going to inject. He would clean it off, he would inject, and then I would cry in his shoulders for a couple minutes, and then it was over. I stressed a lot before every injection just because I don't like injections, I don't like IVs, it's not something that I'm okay with. I've just had some bad experiences in the past that maybe I'll talk about later, but it gives me anxiety, that's for sure. So I started Humira in about June, July, and about a month later, I was really struggling with my weight. I was going to the gym 5 to 6 days a week. I was lifting quite heavy. I had been going to the gym for a few years prior to that. I was on a fitness journey where I lost 70 pounds through healthy eating, through exercise. I did it the good way, and I was just in a good place with my fitness journey. The Crohn's was definitely holding me back in the gym. I wasn't doing much cardio, but I was lifting and I was loving it. Fitness was my escape. I would go to the gym and I would have a few accidents. I'd run to the bathroom, but it was something that I couldn't live without. So I started noticing that I was putting on weight, and rather quickly. At first I attributed it to because we moved right after the hospital, kind of right when I started the Humira. We moved from an apartment to a house for the first time. So that was a lot of added stress, and I attributed it to that. We were eating not so healthy, more on the go because we were in between houses, and I just thought it was my bad choices and that I needed to get back on everything. So I weighed about 149, 145. I ranged between 145 and 150. And so within a month I was about at 160, so already 10 pounds. And then another month went by, I was 166, where I have a post saying I'm starting my cut. I've gained so much weight and I think it's the medication, I think it's the food, so we need to do something about it. The next thing you know, I'm 175. And at this point I was like, this is not okay. This is a lot more weight than I'm used to. I've kept around 70 pounds off for the last 5 to 6 years, and all of a sudden I weigh almost what I did when I started. So I went to the doctors a few times in this whole process, and I kept saying, I think it's the medication. I think it's the medication. And my doctor is great. My GI doctor, million shout outs to him. I love him. He listens to me. He's great. I have nothing negative to say about him. But he just kept saying, I've looked into it, and there's nothing that said this can't be the medication. It must be the fact that your body's retaining nutrients. So if you've dealt with this and you've searched it at all, you know that all over the internet you have people saying, well, it's because you're not sick anymore, so your body's retaining nutrients. Okay, cool. 10 pounds, I believe you. 15 pounds, I believe you. 50 pounds, I don't believe you. But at this point I was around 20 or something like that. My math's not great, so don't judge on that. So I would go to the doctor, and eventually, maybe my third doctor visit to the GI, I said, listen, Linda, this is the medication. I'm training 6 days a week. I'm added cardio. I am counting my macros to the T, and my weight is skyrocketing. At this point, he kind of believed me, so I didn't know what else to do. I hired a coach, and unfortunately that coach didn't turn out. I didn't do my research on her. I didn't talk to her before, and she was kind of the one-size-fits-all type coach. And so I hired another coach, and she was awesome. She had ulcerative colitis as well, and she was really helpful. I love her so much. And she put me on a training program. I was lifting so much, and I was exercising so much, and my macros were awesome, on point, and my weight just continued to go up and up and up. Finally, I had enough, and I spent, I can't even tell you how many days and nights and 5 o'clock in the morning type nights where I was researching, and I took everything I learned in university and I just applied it to this, and I had a goal and I was gonna figure it out. So I was diving deep into medical journals, and guess what I found? Yeah, weight gain is a side effect of Humira. So that's fun. Around 13% of people will have this side effect. So I will link what I found down below so you guys can print these out and show them to your doctor. Weirdly enough, when I went to see my doctor, he had one of these studies printed out, and he's like, look what I found. I went to a convention, and it looks like this is actually a side effect of Humira. Not just Humira, this is a side effect of TNF blockers and biologic medication. So if you go off Humira, you switch to Stelara, you switch to Remicade, it probably will continue. I'm not a doctor, so I can't guarantee, say that will happen to you for sure. It did happen to me, but we'll get to that. So I said to him, I can't continue. At this point, I would probably say I was around 185. So we started at 149, and we're now at 185. And I said, I can't do this anymore. This is my profession. I'm a coach online. I'm gaining so much weight. I'm not only uncomfortable in my body, but I'm just uncomfortable in my profession. I'm uncomfortable with everything I'm doing. I don't feel healthy. I know if my weight continues to skyrocket, that's not good for my body either. So he said, I agree. Let's take you off of Humira. At this point, we didn't know it was all TNF blockers. Let's try Stelara. So I got an infusion of Stelara in an IV, and then I gained 20 pounds in 1 month. So I went up to 200 something, and I went back to him and I said no, and he said, okay, I agree. I said, please let me try this on my own, and he said, okay. He also made me go to see an endocrinologist. So I thought this was going to be the end all be all. I thought the endocrinologist is going to test my hormones, and I'm going to figure out what's going on, and yay, I'm going to be able to lose the weight. I'm going to try not to get too heated here, but the endocrinologist I went to go see told me to take medications so that I would throw up and have a lower appetite, but mostly throw up. Honestly, those were her exact words, that I would be regurgitating the food so I wouldn't be able to gain weight. She didn't listen to the fact that that I was counting my macros to a T. And so I didn't do that, of course. So my doctor let me go off the medications. He asked me to go back on azathioprine and Asacol. I wanted to give myself a chance. Like I said, I dug deep into research at this time. I found a lot of amazing research. The one thing that I found that was really helpful is a book called Fat for Fuel by Dr. Mercola, and I read the whole thing and I listened to the whole thing on Audible. It changed my life. I really took everything to heart and I started 100% clean medical keto. So there's a difference for me between keto, that's the fad diet where people eating cheese strings wrapped in bacon fried in a deep fryer. No, that's not what I did. I lowered my carbs, I cut out sugar, I cut out fructose, I ate whole foods, and my weight started to drop. And it was amazing. Until, unfortunately, my body responded, it got used to it, and the weight stalled. And then after about 6 to 8 months, slowly started creeping up again, which is where we're at right now. The reason I was able to find that book was because my GI mentioned that something that for us that suffer with weight gain from these medications, it's damaging our mitochondria. And he doesn't know why or how that's happening. It's just happening. So at this point, I sympathize with you so much if you're dealing with this as well. I hope that this video can give you some hope that you're not the only one. You really are not the only one. When this started happening, I started a Facebook group called Chronic Illness and Weight Loss Support. I'll also leave the link down below. You can join it. There's tons of other people out there that are dealing with this as well. Not just people with Crohn's disease, but different diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, I can't pronounce the other ones, but it's not just people suffering with Crohn's that are gaining weight. So the excuse that we're just starting to absorb more than we did when we had Crohn's just doesn't pan out, because it's not just us that are experiencing this. It seems like the medical companies are hiding this information because it's out there. So I'm hoping that I can help you in any way. Feel free to reach out to me if there's anything I can do to help. That's what I'm here for. I hope this video gives you some hope, because I know I would have loved to watch something like this when I was struggling, just to know that you're not crazy. You're not crazy. The medication definitely can cause weight gain. I hope that the studies below, they're peer-reviewed medical studies, that those will help you have some great conversations with your doctors where they'll believe you. Unfortunately, I can't come here with a do this and it will work, because we're all trying to figure that out right now. I know keto helps overall lower inflammation and helps restart your body. Obviously, the clean version of keto, but it hasn't helped me lose all the weight. At this point, I'm at my heaviest. I've hired a new coach. I am a coach myself, but this is a whole nother realm. So I've hired a new coach who specializes with people who have metabolic damage, and I'll update you guys on how that goes. I am kind of at a loss, and so I know the medications damaged my body. I know the medications damaged my body's ability to lose weight. A lot of the weight I've gained is all in my midsection, so I know that that's unhealthy. That is really unhealthy for your body to be carrying all that weight right in the midsection. It seems to be a factor for a lot of us who have gained this weight from the medication. Anyways, I hope that that can help you. I hope that this is eye-opening for you. I hope that if you haven't tried Humira and you're just looking for information, that this doesn't deter you, because it can be a great medication. It only happens to 13% of people, so the odds are great that this won't happen to you. So don't let this stop you. Give it a try. But if you notice that your weight is skyrocketing quickly, bring these studies to your doctor and have a chat. It's important that we know what all our potential side effects are, and it's important that we know what's going on in our body. So if you've watched this whole video, I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I would love if you followed me on Instagram. That's my diary, that's my journal, that's where I connect with you guys. Getting a message from you, getting a comment from you honestly makes my day. The whole reason I make these videos, and that I post on Instagram every day is because my heart goes out to all of you, and we are not alone in this. We are here together, and we have this awesome tool to share our community. So reach out to me on Instagram, join the group on Facebook below. Let's have a conversation. Let me know if this has happened to you. Please let me know if you've gained weight from Humira, Remicade, Stelara, and if it has happened to you, I'm so sorry, but we'll get through this together. The good thing is we're still alive. We still live on this beautiful planet. We have so many reasons to be happy. This is just a mystery that's gone uncovered, that's gone unsolved, and we're gonna get through it together. So big hugs. Thank you for being here today. Love you with all my heart. Have a great day. Bye. Shiloh says, bye guys. Oh, what a sleepy puppin'. All right, guys, stay strong. Bye. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh yeah, add me to Instagram.